What is up, guys? It's your boy Millzy back with Hometown Commander. With me, as always, I have...
a louder. I'm very loud. Mikey, how's it going?
I do the loud things now.
I do the loud things now. Now,
And we're back for another episode of Hometown.
What are we doing here?
Head Brews,
Yes.
baby.
Head to Head
Show
Brews.
where we get together, we brew a deck together. We're still doing Commander Legends 2 content. We still have a few weeks before Dominaria comes out, so we just want to check off one or two more commanders from our list. And today's choice is Tasha the Witch Queen. Before we get into Tasha, we got to run through
Our shameless plugs.
them pluggies. First up, we got Rogue Energy, www.rogueenergy.com. Go on over, get all of that beautiful caffeine, none of that nasty sugar, some of the vitamins that you want. Use code HOMETOWN, 10% off. Or more. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it is 10% off. That is all caps Hometown, all one word.
They are releasing a new flavor here in a week or so, Rocket Pop. It's going to be really
That
cool.
That's the flavor I recommend every time now. I love anything bomb pop.
And there's a new, they just released, I think, Pina Colada and Sour Candy, and there's a few other flavors out since the last time we've really plugged flavors. Go over, check it out. If you never tried a powdered energy drink before, I recommend the starter bundle. Go check it out. Try some flavors. Get a shaker cup. Funny enough, some of their shaker cups have outlasted some other shaker cups that I've had. So check that out.
They have some really cool
if you're listening to this on YouTube, after this video, click over onto our channel. We got lots of other content on YouTube. But if you're listening to this episode on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever else you get your podcasts, we do have a YouTube, and we're posting lots of content over on YouTube. Come check us out.
Yeah.
If you're actually watching this on YouTube, this is the first Head Brews episode with video.
Wow!
You can see my screen in front of us. I've closed all of my nefarious tabs so that you can...
He did. Well, to be fair, like, peel back the curtain, like we do a lot here. We just recorded one of our other episodes, what we call like a side episode. Not that it does not mean anything less. It means the exact same for us. But it also means that Millzy had, I believe, like 15 tabs open, and we started scaling through them. It was a great time.
But so I've got stuff open. So in the past you heard me click-clacking, typing in the background, making our deck list, and you only got to see the deck list when it was done. Here you're going to get to see the entire process.
And it's going to be so cool.
Us going through, enjoying ourselves, trying to make this deck together, and then of course, just like normal, we'll post that deck list at the end so you can use it, try it out yourself, comment how terrible it is.
Come find us, beat us with it, be like, you guys suck.
Well, Mikey, for the second week in a row, we're building a Planeswalker.
Yeah, which is a fun deal.
There are only like 3 of them in the set, so I feel like we have to at least do at least one of them, and we did last week with Elminster.
And all 3 of them can be your commander.
Yes, they can. This week we're doing Tasha the Witch Queen, 3 a blue and a black for legendary Planeswalker Tasha. That checks out.
I feel like we have to say something. If you're wondering why we didn't do Minsk and Boo, because it's Minsk and Boo, we would not do it justice. Now, moving on, let's Tasha the Witch Queen.
I was going to say, as a role player, I feel like I can't even do Minsk and Boo justice. But anyway, no, I doubt it'd be something we do together, but I think both of us have ideas for Minsk and Boo, and it's a ton of fun. But we wanted to do something we wouldn't normally do.
Is it going to go in my girl deck? I mean, maybe, because why
Tasha.
not?
Tasha says, whenever you cast a spell you don't own, create a 3/3 black demon creature token. +1, draw a card for each opponent. Exile up to 1 target instant or sorcery from that player's graveyard and put a page counter on it. You may cast a spell from among cards in exile with page counters on them without paying its mana cost. That's her -3. And of course, the final line of text, Tasha the Witch Queen can be your commander, starts with 4 loyalty. So just like we do every time, Mikey, I want to break down our text here so we can determine what our deck wants to be. First off, whenever we cast a spell we don't own, we get a token. Mikey, let's quickly define what cards we own. We own every card in our deck.
Yeah.
So if we, through an ability, have the ability to cast a spell that wasn't in our deck, that was in our opponent's deck, we get the token. Now, there's plenty of ways to do that. But I want to make sure everyone understands what owning means. Because owning is very different than controlling.
Right.
It's very different from being... So controlling means on the battlefield. Owning means the card that's in your deck, your commander, the cards that you owned when you started the game. So I just want to make that very clear. That's what own means. So our +1 exiles an instant or sorcery from a player's graveyard. -3 allows us to cast it up paying its mana cost. So, Mikey, I see a couple of different ways we can do this. We can go the Thief of Sanity route, where we play the creatures that are going to nuke a few cards off of the top of each opponent's library and allow us to play them. We can go the mill route. We can mill our opponents, then get some out of their graveyard that way.
I want one card in this deck, and it just because it's a really fun card that I love playing.
Let's wait a second. Let's just finish our conversation.
Okay. I'm sorry. I just got way excited.
We have to remember the -3.
Yeah.
If we play a spell without paying its mana cost, we can't play a next spell.
Right. We
now
can
it says
cast
you
it.
may cast it without paying its mana cost. We can still pay to cast it.
Yes.
So if someone flips a Curse of the Swine or a Villainous Wealth, if we have the mana or access to the ability to try to play it, we can still do that.
Yeah.
But the -3 lets us pay it without paying its mana cost. That could be useful if we flip a big extra turn spell, or we flip a big blue sorcery, or a big dumb green card that we can play. Those would be really helpful, of course, because we don't have access to certain colors. So I think this deck, kind of like Elminster, is going to use multiple things to do its job.
Yes.
I don't think that we're going to just be playing these Thief of Sanity looting effects. I think we're also going to be playing a teeny bit of mill. We're not going full mill, but I think the mill will help us.
Yeah.
Again, our strategy. So I really quickly want to start, just like every episode we've done with Head Brews, we start without EDH rec. We're going to start thinking of things off the top of our heads, using Scryfall, trying to find cards we think fit the deck. When we think we are content with our list of what we can think of, then we'll move into EDH rec, see what gets added, see what we think needs to be added. Now, the card I mentioned that I think is a slam dunk for this deck is Thief of Sanity.
Yeah.
This is a creature from our last time in Ravnica. It's a 3-mana 2/2 with flying. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, look at the top 3 cards of their library, exile one of them face down, put the rest in their graveyard. For as long as the card remains exiled, you may cast it and you can spend manas or mana of any color. This is going to be really good because Tasha only lets us cast instants and sorceries from our opponents, and we have to exile them out of their graveyard. This lets us get anything.
Yep.
This could get us a creature. This could get us a mana off rock. This could get us a lot of things. I think we want these Thief of Sanity-esque effects. I think these are going to help us not only get... Because remember, anytime we cast a spell we don't own, we get a 3/3. So Thief of Sanity, if we cast that card, will get us a 3/3. The other creature I think I really like here is Hostage Taker.
That's a good.
Hostage Taker is a creature from... originally, I believe, from Ixalan. Whenever it enters the battlefield, exile another target creature or artifact until it leaves the battlefield, and you can cast that card for as long as it remains exiled. So another one comes down, try to get somebody's creature or maybe one of their mana rocks if we're needing some mana. We cast it and we get that 3/3 demon if Tasha's out. I know this effect has a name, and I cannot remember the name for the life of me.
Oh, that's nice. Look at you.
The other card I'm thinking of, and then we'll get to your pick, is I believe it's called Siphon Insight. It was an Innistrad card. We clicked enter, right?
Uh-oh. Is Scryfall down again?
We'll shorten to Siphon. Okay. So Siphon Insight from Midnight. Look at the top 2 cards of target opponent's library. Exile one of them face down and put the other on the bottom. You may look and play the card for as long as it remains exiled, and you can spend mana of their mana of any color.
That's always good.
This we can play once, and then we can flash it back. So
Yeah.
I think this is perfect. This is one of those big cards that's going to help us out.
Yeah.
Okay, Mikey, what is your pick that you're very excited about?
I got super excited. Thieving Amalgam. It's a 7-mana spell, which is very, very on the high end, unfortunately. But every single time, every single turn, you get to manifest the top card of a player's library, and then you, if it's a creature, you can obviously flip it over and cast it. Or excuse me, if it's a permanent, you can flip over it. No.
It's only if it's a creature.
It's only if it's a creature. That's right. Yes.
The only bad part is, does casting a manifested card count as casting a spell? Because if not, then this isn't going to give us any benefit from Tasha.
I can't remember off the top of my head.
Because if we do cast it, great. That's perfect.
Right.
If we don't cast it, I don't see this being very worth it. 7 mana is a lot of mana to get to in a deck where we're not going to have a ton of ramp other than artifacts.
Let me see.
Do you want to look up the manifest rules and not this card's rulings?
Yeah.
And we can kind of keep going. I'm trying to think of how we would look up cards with this ability. Let's go advanced search. Let's try like look at opponents' library maybe. I'm kind of trying to parse through information here. I don't know if this will actually return us anything, but let's find out. Bueller. Okay, we did get some cards, which is good. Gonti. Gonti seems great.
Gonti is good here.
I think that's exactly what we want. Gonti, of course, you look at the same thing, similar there with that effect. You look at the top few of a person's deck, exile it, then you can cast it. That is perfect. Okay, we've got Nimrus from CMR. Flash flying, whenever you cast your first spell during each opponent's turn, look at the top 2 cards of your library. Put one of those cards in your hand and the other in your graveyard. I kind of like Praetor's Grasp. This is a sorcery. It says you can search target opponent's library for a card and exile it face down. Then that player shuffles their library. You may look at it and play that card for as long as it remains exiled.
Yeah.
If we know one of our opponents has something fun, if you're at a table with your friends and you kind of know what your opponents are playing, this could go get you something you know that they're going to have. We've got Arvinox from the Stranger Things Secret Lair, the magic version. It does kind of what we're trying to do here. I just feel like it's really expensive. Got to hit 7 mana.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have to, yeah, I think it just ends up being too expensive. Interesting. Okay, so that got me close. So we have Mind Leecher from the Ikoria Commander decks. It says whenever it mutates, exile the top card of each opponent's library face down. You may look and play those cards for as long as they remain exiled. It's not a nothing burger. It definitely might help a little bit. So I think it's worth throwing in for now, seeing if we can do something with Mind Leecher. Why are like the 2 creatures I can think of here? Like the first 2 creatures I thought of when I thought of blue and black creatures were Doom Whisperer and the blue creature from Ravnica, the Dimir, but like that's all about surveilling our own graveyard. There's nothing to do with extra strategy. Those are just the first 2 cards that I thought of. Well, okay. Well, while you read the manifest rules, I'm gonna go through and add some important things. We got Soul Ring. We got the Arcane Signal. We got your Signet. I don't remember the name of the talisman, but it's going to help me out here. Talisman Dominance.
The answer is no.
No.
Yeah. Manifest is not cast.
Considering, I think that changes our opinion a little bit for now.
Yeah. So Manifest is not cast, and then when you turn it face up, you're literally just turning it face up. It doesn't use... Fun fact, that doesn't use the stack.
Good times.
So, just a side note, if you play Morph like I do, when you turn a card face up and it says counter, there's no stack there, so it just happens.
You could still use special actions though that don't use
you
the
can
stack.
Use special
so
actions,
someone could still like Besage you or like do something like that.
If that is a thing, yeah. If you have those things, yes.
Okay.
Sorry, that's a big. Oh God, the stack is terrible.
So while we attempt to figure out more creatures and permanents, like what if any mill do we want to play? Because I feel like it becomes slightly important.
Do we want to do mill? Do we want to do discard? Do we want to do sacrifice?
What if we do a little bit of all 3?
Like not self-sacrifice.
By
obviously.
mill, I don't mean go hard into mill.
Mm-hmm.
I mean like Teferi's tutelage, like mill that will just help us along the way.
Yeah, any of the tutelage cards are great.
I like Teferi's tutelage because we're gonna draw anyway. Yeah. So we're going to get just a little bit of that mana.
Yeah.
Now we target with this one, but I think it's still we can just throw it in here for now.
There is one tutelage that doesn't target.
That's Sphinx's Tutelage?
No, Sphinx also. What words? I'll figure it out while you continue.
Okay. What other mill can I think of? Ruin Crab. I'm just kidding.
I mean, yeah.
No, I don't think it's worth it. I'm like the first card I thought about was like Glimpse the Unthinkable. Like target player just mills top 10. Like if we have a opponent at the table we think we're gonna get good instants and sorceries from, so we could glimpse them. I feel like we have to play the card.
I was about to say, I know
we can't get anything from it.
I was going to say, I know we don't get anything from it, but
we gotta play it, right? Yeah. I mean, it's literally our card. It's Tasha City's
Laughter. Card.
We have to play it. Out of curiosity, are there any other cards named for Tasha? No, there aren't. Okay.
Go back to Ferris Tutelage real quick. What does it say?
Whenever we draw a card, target opponent mills
2 cards. Okay, cool.
So it is per draw. Okay. So like when we play I think we play Brainstorm, right? Mm-hmm. We play we're gonna play our suite of blue draw spells, especially in the early game. Brainstorm, Ponder.
Psychic Corrosion is the card I'm thinking about. Whenever you draw a card, each opponent puts the top 2 cards of their library into their graveyard.
That's a good idea. I think I like these because they're gonna be a little bit more beneficial than going full hard into the mill. Like I think we're just gonna mill through the process. I like Ponder. I think Preordain is important, especially since we don't have some of that natural ramp. We need to be kind of getting through the top of our deck, right?
Do we want to add Sphinx's Tutelage in there? Because you can hit it multiple times. Because it says at the end of it, if they're both non-land cards that share a color, repeat this process.
Well, we also have, what's the name of that card that was paired with Psychic Corrosion? It's the card with the dragon on it. It has Bolus on it, I think. Let's go right here to Scryfall again. It was the card that it was. Was it Patient? Yeah, Patient Rebuilding. This card was always played with. Beginning of your upkeep, target opponent puts the top 3 cards of their library into the graveyard. Then you draw a card for each land. That's not as worth it as I thought it was going to be.
It's also 5 mana, yeah.
Okay, well that wasn't as worth it. I just know those were played in Commander. Those were played in Standard together at the same time. Okay.
So no to the Sphinx's Tutelage, though?
I think for now, no.
Okay, cool.
Okay, what else can we think of for mill that hits all of our opponents? Like, my first thought was Mind Crank, but are we going to be dealing enough damage to use the Mind Crank?
Probably not. I really don't.
Ooh, but Mind Crank isn't when we deal damage. Mind Crank is whenever an opponent loses life.
Yes.
So technically, if they get hit by somebody else in combat, they would mill too.
What's the Theros god's name?
Phoenix?
What does he do?
You can tap a creature to mill that many cards.
Is it just target opponent?
We're going to find out. Target player puts the top X cards where X is that creature's stuff. I think it's worth considering for now. It is also a big creature, if we can get there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Indestructible is not something to mess
blue with. Draw spells that are good.
Opt?
I don't think we mind Opt, do we?
I don't know. To be honest, I see Ponder already in Brainstorm. I kind of think those are fine.
Preordain.
And Preordain.
We got like Serum Visions as well. We could throw in there for now because again, we're gonna be really relying on this ramp. We're not gonna. I mean, we have no ramp, right? Yeah. We're gonna really rely on this card
draw. Yeah. And
all right, well, we'll get into the fun question. Which tutors are we gonna play? I mean, 1, 2, 3 probably for sure. I would guess since we're gonna be needing to play some Dimir control.
Just put all 3 of those in there.
All right, so I think that means we're playing everyone's favorite blue spell.
Counterspell, right?
Yeah, totally.
Fierce Guardianship.
I think it's worth it in here.
I mean,
I actually don't mind Counterspell. I actually think it does very well in this deck.
It goes, because it puts something in the graveyard. We can go steal it later.
Because it counters the spell, and then we can steal it with Tasha.
Yep.
I like Drown in the Lock in
yes.
this deck. It's a good piece of
not
only removal, but it's a counterspell as well.
Yep.
Which is pretty good.
For 2 mana, it does a lot.
Okay, let's transition into the sacrifice section.
Okay. Now we're making opponent sacrifice, correct?
Yeah, I don't know that I want to go like turbo Turgid route, but I would like to try to like find stuff up that vein. So like,
I mean, do we just put Turgid in here?
I feel like we do. The only bad part we have to remember is we can only take instants and sorceries with Tasha.
What does Turgid do?
Turgid is whenever an opponent sacrifices a non-token permanent or discards a permanent card, you can put it in the graveyard or you can under the battlefield under control, which is good because it's going to get everything else, right? Like when the instant sorceries
we're not
go.
casting is the only issue. So I mean, well, because Tasha's
Well, no,
top.
Turgid's still a value engine. It doesn't matter whether we get them to cast them or not. I feel like she's still a value engine. I guess we could also consider like, what's the name of that card? Not Tiny Bones. What's the other black commander that cares about sacrificing?
Tiny Bones.
Tiny Bones, I think actually wouldn't be bad here.
Tiny Bones would be so much fun.
It says, at the beginning of each end step, an opponent discarded a card this turn. You draw a card and you lose a life. And then for 6, each opponent with no cards in the hand loses 10 life. Maybe not as good as I thought.
Well, I mean, if we have it with Turgid, it's amazing. If we don't,
yeah, what's the other card that people use? The
instead
other black.
of Turgid, You had my heart. Canceled.
Am I about to advance search sacrifice into Scryfall? Yes, we are. This is going to be a mess. But hey, we get to talk about what you should do when you search sacrifice on. I'm going to go by EDH rank. So let's see the highest rank cards that say sacrifice. Let's get through all the lands first.
There's plenty of them, yeah. Man, isn't it so much fun to just sit here and exile everything? Because that's what I'm looking for.
Dictate Erebos. We got the old Shieldred.
The old children.
Got Yawgmoth. I don't know how much we're going to play into the Aristocrats, though.
I wasn't thinking about it, but I mean, hey, if that's what you want, man, cool.
Got like the Yahennis and the Yaras of the world, but again, that's a little bit more into the it's a little bit more into the Aristocrats side. I don't know how much we're trying to go into the Aristocrats world.
I don't think we need to with this kind of style.
I was thinking Rankle.
Rankle was an idea.
Kind of helps our little like sacrifice plan.
Yeah.
And it would also does it have a discard? Each player discards a card.
Yep.
So we could definitely do that. I am not finding what I thought was. Oh, can we play Toxrill?
Yeah.
As a top end.
Yeah.
If we ever get there, friends in Magical Christmas Land, where we get there. Everything inside me just wants to go deep into the mill plan because I just feel like it pays off.
It probably will be the best, rather than like a sacrifice and discard. Because we are looking for the instant and sorceries the most.
I don't mind the Gisa from Gisa Glorious Resurrector. If a creature opponent controls would die, exile instead, and the beginning of our upkeep, they all come back with Decayed.
That card is
the good part about that is if we ever have Turgid out at the same time, we would just then get all of them back.
Yeah.
Wait, does Turgid say when an opponent sacrifices a permanent? Okay, so no, we wouldn't get them back. But I think Gisa's still very good for what we're trying to do.
Do we want...
Come on, Millzy. Mill outlets. You gotta think of it.
Do we want to play any Lilianas?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking Dreadhorde General, for sure. Because it's just dang good. Apparently I cannot find Dreadhorde General. There it is. Do we play Liliana of the Veil? It's just got ring printed. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. It's +1 as each player discards that card.
Yeah.
It's -2 as each player sacrifices a creature, and it's -6 as. I think that's probably worth to consider.
Yeah, it's only 3 mana. Yeah, might as well.
If we're gonna play Tasha, do we run any Ashioks in here?
Yeah, we do, because they are some meal in there.
I like Dream Render. Players can't search their library. The only bad part is, like, you mill the player, but then they exile their graveyard. But it still would get the cards out of the way.
Yep.
Which is still what we want in our little, like, Dimir control plan. We've got this one. Create the Nightmare token whenever it attacks or blocks. Each opponent exiles the top 2 cards of their library. Turn target non-land permanent card to its owner's hand. You may cast 3 spells from among face-up cards your opponent owned from exile without playing your mana cost. The good part about this -7 is it works with Tasha.
Yeah.
So I like that. Draw a card. Each player mills 2 cards. Unsculpt Affairs. Put target creature from a graveyard on the battlefield under your control. Gain control of all target creatures. Is this for 6 mana worth it? This Ashiaka Sculptor Affairs? When the top one mills, the bottom, the -5 brings cards back.
Put it in the sideboard.
Alright, we'll move it. When there's a battlefield, exile target spell. Your opponents can't cast spells with the same name as it whenever it leaves. That's not really as good. Okay. What about 3 mana Ashiok from Theros? Exile the top 3 cards of the target opponent's library. Put a creature card with X from the among it. I don't think that works as well. So this one's going in the concern. Okay. I feel like we've got a decent mass so far. I think we just need to kind of round this off a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
What was the third idea you had? Sacrifice, mill, and
discard.
So okay. Well, Mikey, you have to sound honest. I think I'm fine to round up the mana and go to EH here. I feel like we're going to get some good insight when we go, and I think we've got a fairly good core involved here. I can't think of, other than filling in our spells, I can't think of much else.
One random card I just want you to look up just because. Nezumi Shortfang.
N-Easy?
N-E-Z-U-M-I. Yep, it's that one right there. Double namer. The flip card.
So Grave Robber, right?
Yep.
Is that Tarkar?
Oh no, Nezumi Shortfang.
There's more than one.
Yeah, I see that. Sorry.
Target opponent discards a card. If that player has no cards in hand, we flip it. Being each opponent's upkeep, that player loses 1 life. They have for each card fewer than 3 in their hand. I don't hate it.
I mean, it's something.
But this one, remove target. Exile target from a creature graveyard. If no more cards are in play, flip it. Put target creature card from a graveyard into the battlefield under your control.
Ugh, we're not casting it though. Dang.
No.
I don't hate those cards though. I keep on.
I'll throw it in there for now.
I keep on looking at more flip cards. They seem very interesting.
Are we playing Nashi the Moon Sage?
Yeah.
Whenever it just kind of doing takes all the top card of each player's library until in turn you may play one of those cards.
Yeah.
Seems decent enough to try, right?
Looks down. Seems decent.
Is this Sakashima's whatever student? No. What's the like the blue-black cards that do things when you ninjutsu them in? Are we a ninjutsu little deck?
No, because we don't have enough unblockable or evasion.
Okay. I think Tiny Bones might actually come out here. I don't think it does as much good as the rest of these do. Alright, well, let's start filling in the mana base, and then I think I'm content to rock it over. So we got Watery Grave. We got Polluted Delta. We've got Temple of Deceit. We've got Shipwreck Marsh. That's our Innistrad land. We've got I want to say it's also Shipwreck. Oh, Sunken Ruins. That's the filter land. Oh, apparently Scryfall is having issues.
Oh, that's fine.
So that's totally cool. Sunken Ruins. We have... I don't think the Dimir bounce land is bad here. Dimir Aqueduct. Since we're in 2 colors. Okay, Zach, think. We have Morphic Pool.
Mm-hmm. What the heck is that other commander that people use than Turgid?
Because we played against it that one time.
Is it Torok? Dread Cantor?
That's who it is.
Yeah, whenever an opponent discards a card, put a +1/+1 counter on Torok. When Torok enters the battlefield, kick, target opponent discards 2 cards at random. Do you want to consider or even think about Temperate chosen from death. I'm thinking of his bottom ability: 1 colorless, 1 black. Exile up to 2 target cards from the graveyard to gain 1 life for each creature card exiled this way.
Is it only 1M in Timorant?
Yes.
I thought it was. Is it 1M, 2 Rs then?
Nope. 1M, 1R.
Interesting.
You're insane.
It's a time to be alive.
You can say no to this. I don't know. I always think of random cards throwing decks.
I find it intriguing. I'm willing to at least add it for now.
Like you're siphoning through the cards that are in
So do you think the Ereboses work for us here? I know Erebos is kind of an interesting card.
The dictate does.
Another creature you control dies, you pay 2 life. If you do, draw a card, sack another creature. Okay, God of the Dead. Opponents can't gain life. I'm not really impressed.
Neither am I. That's why I was like,
I don't think either of the Thasas help us either.
No, I don't think so.
The only thing that it would work is for like Gonti, that happens when it comes in. Same thing with like Hostage Taker. It is technically on ETB.
Yes.
But I don't know. I don't see much use for it. We'll come down to the lands. Let's add like 8 islands and 8 swamps just to show the lands out here as we...
Yeah, we're probably going to want that 35-36 mark because we are playing...
I'm blanking on a lot of blue-black lands. To be 100% honest, I don't play a lot of blue-black.
Swamp and island. That's all I got. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I think we'll catch the rest of my EA trick. Any mana artifacts you can think of? Besides our signets, our talismans, soul ring. Can you think of any? Come to the top of your head. I think this is like the shortest deck we've had when we've gone to EDA Trek, but I think it's just because
we don't play Dimmer as much.
Yeah,
we don't play this style because I played ninjas.
Because I mean, I built that blue black horrors deck, but it's completely. I mean, it has a tribal theme.
Right.
All right, Mikey. I think I'm content to go to EDA Trek. How about you?
Let's do it, man. I'm kind of scared.
All right. How bad are we?
How bad are we?
We immediately see Elder Brain, Intellect Devourer, and Brain Stealer Dragon.
I forgot about those.
I think all 3 of them are good.
Yeah.
They're expensive.
Yeah. With Intellect Devourer being the cheapest, right?
But I think I'm willing to try them. Intellect Devourer and Brain Stealer Dragon. Yeah, I think that's kind of fun. I think all 3 of them help us in our strategy.
It's very expensive, but do we want to play Mirko Vosk, Mind Drinker?
I don't know what that is.
Okay, it's from Ravnica. It's a flying 2/4 creature. Whenever he does, or it does, damage to a player, that player reveals cards from the top of his library until he or she reveals 4 land cards and puts those cards into his or her graveyard. It's a 2/4 flyer for 5.
Do we just play Mind Grind instead?
I mean, yeah, it's better, but this is hilarious. This is like Tasha's hideous.
Because Mind Grind does the same thing, except to all players.
Yeah, it's a good point.
How do you spell this thing?
Mirko is Mirko. Vosk is VO. Yeah, that guy. How do you spell this thing?
Whenever it deals combat damage, I'm going to leave it in there for now.
I remember one of my older friends trying to build around that, and I thought it was so funny. He did a great job.
Should we play the Torment?
Of firing hell, yeah.
I feel like we need a couple finishers. Mind Grind's not a bad one. If we can ever get up to enough mana. And it also synergizes pretty well in the early game. Alright, Xander's Pact. 6 mana. Each opponent exiles the top card of their library. You may cast spells from among them this turn. If you cast a spell this way, pay life equal to its mana value rather than its mana cost. I don't love it.
Nah, I have to agree.
Alright, Memory Plunder. You may cast target instant or sorcery card from an opponent's graveyard without paying its mana cost.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that seems solid.
Does it do what we want to do?
I also like that it's all hybrid mana.
Yeah.
And so it's going to make it a little bit easier to cast.
Yeah. Even though it's like, what, 5 mana?
It's 4.
Oh, 4? That's pretty
Cunning Rhetoric's the great idea. Whenever an opponent attacks you or planeswalker you control, exile the top card of that player's library. You may play it for as long as it remains exiled, and you may spend mana as any... That's exactly what we want to do. Because the good part is if we get Cunning Rhetoric out before we get Tasha out, we can wait and cast those cards and then do them when Tasha's out to get the full benefit. Mm-hmm. So I like that. We did Hostage Taker. We did Gonti. Oh, I totally forgot about him. We get Demonic Betrayal. Exile all cards from all opponents' graveyards. You may cast those cards this turn. You may spend mana as though were men of any color. Beginning next end step, if those cards remain exiled, then return them to their owner's graveyards. Is that worth it?
We can put it in there for now, and we can come back to it. I think it's fine. A fine add for now.
Are we playing the Kingpin?
Yeah, we play off-brand Jabba the Hutt.
I've never heard something that fair before.
Listen, I love Jabba and I love Xanathar.
Xanathar seems really good, though.
Yes, Xanathar. Would you just say, do we want to win the game? That's basically what he says.
Thinking for upkeep, until end of turn, that player can't cast spells. You may look at the top card of their library, can play the top card of their library, and you may spend mana or any mana to cast spells this way. It just seems good.
It's so good.
Night Veil Spectre. When it deals kind of damage to a player, that player exiles the top card. You may cast cards exiled. We may play cards exiled in Night Veil Spectre. So we could get lands off of it too. Yeah, it seems decent. It's the same thing as like Thief of Sanity, right? These little creatures that if we can hit with them are going to get us good value. Chaos Wand? Didn't think about Chaos Wand.
Oh, yeah.
Each target opponent exiles from the top of their library until they exile an instant or sorcery. You could pay it without paying its mana cost. Put the rest on the bottom. I feel like that seems good.
Yep. Especially since we're using the things that we want to use.
Especially if we have Tasha out, right?
Yep.
We just get the value off of it. So that seems good. Counterspell Felwar Stone. This might be a Felwar Stone deck.
Yes.
I think there's a hot chance that no matter what we're playing against, we're probably playing against a blue or black deck.
The Orchid. The Orchid land.
Oh, Exotic Orchard.
Yeah, Orchard. Sorry, it's not the same.
Oh, Command Tower dummy. Hey, Command Tower's a land.
Hey, Command Tower might be good in your commander deck.
Have you guys ever heard of this card called Command Tower?
You know what? Put it in your mono
Fallen
red deck.
Shinobi was what I was thinking of.
Yeah. Yeah. But we're not. Yeah.
I think it's worth trying.
Yeah.
And we're not going to become a... You know, like, have you ever heard where, like, people make decks that have a commander, but it's really a, like, X deck? Like, we're not a Yuriko deck that is hiding as a Tasha deck.
Yeah.
Douthie Voidwalker is good. It's just not what I want.
No, I'm looking past it.
We have Talent of the Telepath. Target opponent reveals the top 7. You may cast an instant or sorcery from among them without paying its mana cost. Then that player puts the rest into their graveyard. Okay.
Already like it.
There are 2 or more instant or sorceries in a graveyard. You may cast up to 2 revealed instant or sorcery cards instead of 1.
I already like it.
I think I like it.
Because, I mean...
The later we see it in the game, the better, right?
Yeah.
So that seems pretty solid. King Narfi's Betrayal. Each player mills 4 cards, then you may exile a creature or planeswalker from each graveyard. Till end of turn, you may cast spells. So it's doing the same thing that we want to do, but it hits creatures or planeswalkers.
I want it. For 3 mana? It's too good. And we mill 4 cards. It's ridiculous.
And it's everyone. Each player, even us, which I'm sure will have some sort of, recursion.
And oh, this is so good because you're exiling a creature from a graveyard. It's not exiling a creature from the milled card. So I mean, if somebody has like something good already in their graveyard, you just go and grab it.
How do you feel about Mind's Dilation? It's kind of expensive, but I feel like it's what we're trying to do. And then when an opponent casts his or her first spell each turn, that player exiles the top card of their library. If it's a non-land card, you cast it without paying its mana cost.
Oh my god.
With Tasha out, it automatically gives us the token. Because we don't own that card.
Throw it in there.
I mean, Mind's Dilation is 7 mana, though.
Yeah.
So the only downside to Mind's Dilation is we got to get there.
We'll just have to look at our ramp, or not our ramp, but our curve and see where we're at.
I think it's a good top end, though, to get to, right?
Yes.
A Diluvian Primordial. When there's the battlefield for each opponent, you may cast up to 1 target instant or sorcery from that player's graveyard without paying its mana cost. If a spell that was cast this way, we put it into a graveyard, exile it instead.
Yeah. Put it in there.
I like it as the high top end. Here's what we should probably do. We should probably throw like a reanimate, like animate dead in here.
What are you talking about?
Especially for these big things, if we need to dump them. Reanimate. Doesn't cast. Okay. Dazzling Sphinx. Whenever it deals comments to a player, that player exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile an instant or sorcery. You may cast it without paying its mana cost. So 5 mana for a 4/5.
With flying. That's not bad.
I don't mind it.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty good. And most of our other cards that do this are flying anyway. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We got Rexiel.
I like Rexiel.
Whenever it deals comments to a player, you may cast an instant sorcery from that player's graveyard without paying its mana cost. If that spell will be put into a graveyard, exile it. It's gonna get some. It's gonna take a little bit to get to, but again, we could reanimate it. We could find other ways to get it out. We don't necessarily have to hard cast it. We see the Ruin Crab. Do we play the Ruin Crab?
I mean, it's a 1 mana. Everybody else is milling 3 cards.
Am I the drama?
Exactly.
Hedron Crab is only 1 player, right?
Yes.
Is it still worth playing?
I never like it, but if you're playing Landfall, maybe play it.
But I'm saying, if we're playing Ruin Crab, I know it hits everyone. Is this worth just the 1 player?
I think if we are diving very far into the mill, which is funny.
Think about it. We have ninjutsu. So if we ever swung this at somebody who wasn't blocking,
oh yeah,
I think it's worth the slot. I mean, if we're gonna take Mill out to dinner and have a good time, I feel like we should take Mill out to dinner and have a good time. You know what I mean?
So then, do we come back and consider the Sphinx's tutelage?
I think we do now, don't we?
I mean, I don't want to keep.
Don't remember what the card says, which will help us out, but we can figure it out.
I don't want to keep harping on it, but I do
Whenever
like
you draw
the
a
card.
card, target opponent puts the top 2. No, I like it. I think that's fine. We have plenty of other ways to draw. I think it's good.
I mean, you get to do.
I
that
also
every
remembered it
single turn.
being more mana than it actually is.
Yeah.
So. Thada Adele, whenever it deals kind of damage to a player, search that player's library for an artifact card and exile it. Then that player shuffles the library until a turn you can play that card.
That's not bad.
Question mark?
For 3 mana.
That seems kind of good.
And somebody else has an island. I mean, you're
No one has a lack of good artifacts that we could take.
Yeah.
I love Spark Double. There's a card I didn't even. I mean, I would have thought of eventually, but I didn't think of, because it can copy Tasha.
Yeah.
Or it can copy any other creature that we have.
Also, yes.
Consuming Aberration seems like it's a little expensive.
We're putting power and toughness equal to the amount of cards in opponent's graveyards. Whenever you cast a spell, each opponent reveals cards from the top of the library until they reveal a land card and puts those cards. Oh my gosh, the mill is insane.
Oh no, that actually seems a lot better than I thought it was.
The mill is insane there.
Nope, I was wrong. I'm putting I was wrong in the chat. I was very wrong.
Why is mill not a thing?
Notion Thief. Silent Blade Oni.
For ramp, do we want to play the sad robot?
I think I'd rather play Artifact Ramp and
Yeah.
draw.
Okay, just making sure.
I actually think we might be good on creatures, to be honest. We have a ton of them.
I agree. Oh my gosh, I want to build mill now.
Hey, 8% of decks are playing Hedron Crab, so... Do we play the Brewvac to double our mill? I don't think we need to. I don't think we're trying to actually mill our opponents.
Dude, I want to play mill. That's all I want to do now.
Alright, are we playing Dark Ritual? Feels good.
I mean, yeah.
We got Infernal Grasp. Okay, we haven't looked at removal.
Pongify.
I mean, I like Pongify and Rapid Hybrid. Cheap removal. We're in black. Normally my favorite black removal is like Infernal Grasp or like Doomblade. Those 2 mana cards.
Mm-hmm.
Do we play Feed the Swarm so we can get rid of an enchantment? I guess we couldn't alternatively just bounce it back to somebody's hand. I like Reality Shift. I feel like that's good removal.
Yes.
Gale's Redirection is very expensive, but man, I'm just thinking of cards that this could just eat up.
Gale's Redirection seems good, and it's a counterspell at the end of the day,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So it's definitely something to consider.
It's a very top-endy.
Oh, Deadly Rollick.
I was gonna say, did you put Deadly Rollick in?
Deadly Rollick, obviously. I was like, what's our free black spell? Deadly Rollick. That's what it is. I'm not seeing a ton of things that I love there.
I agree.
Let's go to sorceries. Extract Brain.
I'm gonna move down to enchantment.
I don't mind Windfall. Make people pitch their hand and draw new stuff. Puts things into the graveyard, right? Fractured Sanity.
That's not a bad one.
Or Maddening Cacophony. We don't necessarily need to play both, but both are good.
I would rather play Maddening Cacophony. I think it's just played more and cheaper.
Is it actually cheaper? So it's six to kick it. Fractured Sanity is 14 for everyone for 3 mana. Do we play both? Isn't that kind of what we want to do anyway?
Yeah, we're basically milling. That's what we have.
I love how we're basically milling at this point. I love how we danced around the dance floor with it, and now we're just like, yep, you're my gal. We're gonna dance.
Oh, these enchantments for mill are gross.
Damnation, is that a thing?
I mean, yeah. We're not caring about creatures. We're caring about putting cards in people's graveyards.
Well, because that's probably our best board wipe, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, unless you want to play Crux of Fate and destroy all non-dragon creatures.
I'm just trying to think if there's any other cards here I'm not seeing. Inevitably, we're going to miss one.
Oh, of course.
Welcome to deck building, but
yeah. If you've
love
never
Blood on the Snow, but I don't really think we can play into the snow like we'd want to.
Are we traumatizing?
No.
Come on.
We've got enough rant. I love the idea of Rod of Absorption, though.
That's so good. Dude, I just want to play mill now. Oh my gosh, it's gross.
I'm going to put it in there.
Yeah.
Just for the fun of it. I mean, if it doesn't make it, it doesn't make it, friends. But that's what Commander's about. I also love the idea of Wizard Spellbook. It's way too high up the mana chain.
Unfortunately.
Rings of Bright Hearth actually wouldn't be terrible. But, this card can die.
Oh, wow.
Mesmeric Orb can die. Anyway, if there's any cards in this game that I cannot stand, it's Stax Pieces, but true Stax Pieces.
Sorry. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm not gonna play Stacks. Not today. Maybe tomorrow.
Lithoform Engine. Probably not. Okay, Enchantment's Rogue class seems fun. Heuristic Study seems fun.
There's like 4 or 5. I'm like, I like.
Where are
these
we
cards.
at on Rogue's class?
I like it. It is a little expensive, but I mean, you put it down early.
Or sorry, I apologize. I apologize. Rogue class.
Oh yeah,
I
not
apologize.
Rogue's class. Yes.
Did you put Harmonic?
That's on me. Harmonic Progeny?
Yeah.
Huh.
Heuristic Study.
Oh, yes. Court of Cunning seems interesting.
Yeah, I was thinking that one too.
Yeah.
I love how we're just mill now.
Yeah, but we're a mill deck.
Hey, welcome to
You
We're
either
Playing
die
Now.
the hero or you live long enough to build mill. Memory Erosion. When an opponent casts a spell, that player puts the top 2 cards of their library into their graveyard.
Oh my god, that was insane.
I love how we're just a mill deck now. Like
What is happening?
we went out of the date so strong. We were like, we're not doing mill. Like today's a great day.
It's like we went on Tinder. And we were like, I'm never doing
and
Tinder.
we scrolled through a little bit, and
now
we're
here we
playing
are.
mill. Yeah, words and stuff.
Words and stuff.
I legitimately am just lost for words. Are we a Professor Onyx deck?
So I thought about it, but I was like, man, it's so expensive. But is it worth it? Probably. I don't know, man.
I think we're a Narset Parter Veils deck, though. I also don't want to play too many things.
I mean, we like playing the Planeswalker.
I think Otawara for sure. I can see the usefulness there.
Do we want to be just terrible people and play Imprison in the Moon?
I mean, are we playing Imprison and Oubliette?
Yeah, so we're terrible people. Got it.
I mean, we're playing Mill. How much class can we actually have?
We've lost all class.
TM. I just accidentally added a doubling cube. I don't think we need the doubling cube.
Oh, gosh.
Are we playing Urborg Coffers?
I
I like Castle Lochthwain, though. Do we like Castle Vantris?
Yeah.
I would love to play Urborg Coffers, but...
Do you want to play another land, Mystic Sanctuary? I kind of like getting...
Oh, yeah, Mystic Sanctuary would be good.
I mean...
Get our stuff back.
Yeah. As long as we control 3 other islands, yeah.
Are we playing the Tomb? We're playing Urza Saga for sure.
Yeah, we play Urza Saga. We're going to probably play Tomb because we need the mana.
We playing the Crypt?
We need the mana.
Welcome to Blue Black, where you play Mana Crypt. At this point, Urza Saga can get a Soul Ring and Mana Crypt.
Do you want to play Midnight Clock?
I love Midnight Clock. Midnight Clock is what I need in my life. Does it make it, though?
I mean, we're going to be putting cards in our graveyard as well. That's why I was like, Midnight Clock puts those back.
That's true. That's a good point. Alright, Creeping
Not a
Tar
lot,
Pit.
but enough.
Creeping Tar Pit does turn into a creature, but I don't know that I love it. Let's keep going. Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Mind Stone? I guess Mind Stone's good. Draws us a card.
Yeah.
Do we play Commander's Sphere?
I was thinking so.
Because I think it's good enough.
Yeah, you get both your
Because we can sack it to draw a card.
Also, yes.
Thought Vessel seems like it makes sense. In some world. Maybe not. I don't think we're going to be drawing that
We're
many.
not drawing enough for that to...
Chromatic Lantern, I don't think we can pay off. I love the idea of Skyclave Relic, but I don't know that we can use it to its ability. Alright, what blue-black lands did I miss? Sunken Hollow. Let's flame Millzy in the chat for blue-black lands that he missed. Shipwreck Marsh, Morphic Pool, Exotic Orchard, Drowned Catacomb, our check land. I missed that one. Couple of seat. Choked Estuary seems fine, especially since we're going to be playing the basics.
Yep. Do we want to play Myriad Landscape? Okay.
I think we probably need to, don't we? Because we're going to need some land ram. I like the Pathway. Pathway seems free. Yeah. I like Darkwater Catacombs too. It's our little filter land. It's our second, the one where you put one into it and you get blue-black.
Mm-hmm. Fabled Passage?
If we're going to play that many basics, I think Fabled Passage for sure. It also would combo with our crabs.
Yep.
The quabs.
Dark Quabs.
I think that's it as far as mana goes. I mean, we could play the City of Brass if we want. If we're worried about colors.
I mean, do you want to play Underground Sea?
Underground Sea, I don't recognize that one by name. Oh, our OG Duel. No, we're not playing OG Duel on this channel. I'm just kidding.
I just wanted to throw it out there because I knew you wouldn't.
Okay,
know it off the top of
you
my head.
keep your ears open. But I honestly think it's time to cut.
Yeah,
I feel
agree.
like
We're at like 1:30.
Yeah. All right. Any planeswalkers we want to cut? Honestly, I like Dreadhorde General the least of these
I was
four.
about to say Dreadhorde General,
which is sad because it's
good.
Such a good card. But I think that's my pick for now. Again, nothing's going away. It's just being cut for now. What do we deem to be expendable?
I want to say Tiny Bones. Is he 4, right? No, he's only 2. Oh my gosh, dang it.
Brainstealer kind of seems too expensive.
Yeah. 6-8. Well, anything that's really over expensive because I'm
Same
seeing
thing with Elder Brain. It kind of seems too expensive.
Yep, we're seeing a lot of expensive cards.
I like the Lumion. This actually we can pay off.
Yeah.
For its cost. I just think those two are a little expensive. I like Fallen Shinobi. Do we cut Gisa? I just think it's good.
How many creatures are we down to? 28? We can keep 28 creatures. We're fine with that.
Well, no, not when we get down into the other stuff. We're gonna be a deck that needs spells. We'll cut the Mind Leasher. I think we cut this guy.
Yeah, you can cut Mirko. Yeah.
I like Nashi Moon Sages. I think that's actually decent.
Yeah.
Do we like both of these?
I only like the
Short Fang. So
Yeah.
we'll cut Grave Robber.
yeah.
I like Nightveil Spectre. I guess we could technically cut Phoenix, but we're playing Mill, so I feel like he's worth it.
Yep.
He/she/it is worth it.
Oh, the goaded.
Rankle I feel like is good just because it's an attacker.
Yep.
And it's not a bad spot for the one or two ninjutsus we have. Crab, Spark Double. I still like Turgid. I still think it gives us so much value, even if we put it on the backside. Thought Adele I like. I like that. Do we cut Turok? I just feel like it's not as good as...
It's whenever they're discarding. Yeah, we're not really discarding. So, I mean, we kind of went down the whole...
I kind of really want to cut Tiny Bones for now. That'd be the first creature that comes back in.
Yeah.
Toxrill, literal pure value.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Timoret. Kind of seems like it should go.
Okay.
I kind of think Rexiel should go. It's so expensive. And we have other better expensive creatures. And we need these spots for spells. You know what I mean? I think we're a spells deck more than anything else. Intellect Devourer.
I like for pure flavor.
But I also feel like it's just strictly worse than a lot of things we have in this creature list.
Alright, then get it out of here.
Again, a couple of those creatures are the first to come back in. But I feel like 20 creatures is fine because we're going to be playing a ton of spells.
We are.
Alright, let's move into the sorceries. I think Glimpse, if we're playing this and we're playing this, I don't think we need Glimpse the Unthinkable. It's just one player.
Yeah,
Mills
get
10.
him out.
I think we're probably way better off prioritizing the things that mill everyone.
Yep.
Rather than... Mnemonic Betrayal, is this really... Exiles everyone's graveyard, we can play cards to them, and if we don't, they go back into the graveyard. I don't know.
That's not bad, but you exile Mnemonic Betrayal, so... For 3?
It's 3 to start.
Yeah, I'd say, we can...
I like Ponder. I like the Praetor's Grasp.
Mm-hmm.
I like Preordain. I like Reanimate. I mean, maybe Serum Visions. Do we really love this Town of the Telepath? We do have a lot of other things that are important.
I only like it...
Kind of seems like the least of all the spells we have in the sorcery category.
I like it just because of its bottom end.
Okay, we'll keep it in there for now. I think we've cut enough for now.
Okay.
Let's move down. Yes. Maybe. I think we might be able to cut this since we have Pongify and Rapid.
Okay.
Memory Plunder, Mystical Tutor, Pongify, Rapid, Reality Shift, Siphon, Insight. I like all of those.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay.
Wait, go back up. Oh, okay, sorry. You were on Reality Shift. I thought it said 2.
Arcane, Chaos Wand, Commander Sphere.
Should we just worry about mana artifacts?
Yeah, I think we cut the Rod. I just want to cut Mind Stone. I just don't love Mind Stone.
I don't either.
So many people love Mind Stone. I think we cut the Clock.
Oh, dang. That's a tragic story for you.
Yeah, but the problem is, what the heck else do we cut? That's the problem we're going to get done. It's either that or the Sphere. One of the two of them has to go.
I think it's going to be the Clock because it doesn't... Well, shoot.
Because I actually like the Clock more than Commander
I actually
Sphere.
like the Clock too because the Clock actually gets you more cards. So, yeah.
So we'll put it back in.
Give me that card back.
We'll cut the Commander Sphere. Okay, I don't think we want to cut the Mind Crank since we're milling. I like Chaos One. I like Felwar Stone. And I like everything else.
Yeah.
Okay. Enchantments. I think we can cut Animate Dead. We have the Reanimate.
Yeah.
And in all reality, we're not trying to mess around that much. Core of the Cunning.
You get to draw an extra card if you have the Monarch. The Monarch comes into play.
So to begin our upkeep, any number of target players mill 2 cards, no matter what.
Yep.
And if we're the Monarch, they mill 10.
Yep. So I personally like bringing Monarch into play because it brings a little like...
I think the 2's worth it though.
Yeah.
Because at the start of our turn, we would get to see what hit the graveyard and might change our Tasha play.
Yeah.
I like Cunning Rhetoric because it is going to disincentivize our opponents from attacking us. Our Imprisoned and Oubliette needed.
We have Pongify, we have Rapid, we have...
Do we cut maybe Oubliette? Keep the Imprisoned in the Moon? Because this is only creature, and Imprisoned in the Moon is a lot.
Yeah, let's do that then. Oubliette, goodbye. Or let's chill out.
Okay, Narfi's Betrayal. I really like it.
I do too.
But I'm worried. There's so many other better enchantments. Like, to me, this and Rogue Class are the two least of all these enchantments.
We can probably cut Rogue Class just for now. What does that put us down to? 12? Okay.
Well, we got to cut a couple here.
Yeah.
So...
I was thinking dropping to 35 or 36. Just look down at your color
Right now, we're 65 blue, 44 black. So we could do is drop this down to like 6.
We're going to go 37 lands?
Do we cut the Darkwater Catacombs? It's kind of my least favorite of the dual lands.
Yeah.
Now we're down to 36. I like 35, so we just got to cut one more land.
I was just going to say an island.
I think that's good. We still got plenty of basics.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're down to 107.
Wow.
That's what I was saying. This is going to get really tough.
Okay.
Because there's so many great cards, but the problem is... Okay, so here's, I think, where we're going to have to make the call on... I think Xanathar goes. As much as I love it, I think Toxrill's a lot more of a value engine than Xanathar is.
Wow. Okay.
What do you think?
I've seen so many articles and videos about Xanathar.
We gotta untap with Xanathar, though. Because remember, it only goes off at our upkeep. Toxrill, unless someone kills it on our turn, is going to start working the turn we put it down.
Because that's at the end step.
Every end step.
Every end step. Yeah, I mean, in this case, yes, Toxrill is better than Xanathar. The issue is Xanathar works for our strategy, where Toxrill...
What do we cut instead? That's the question. We have to cut a creature. We can't. We want every... My problem is we have so many spells we want. So it comes down to what are we cutting? Like, do we cut Nashi? Do we cut Fallen Shinobi? Like, these are just good cards.
How much is Fallen Shinobi's ninjutsu? I can't remember off the top of my head. 4.
That
Okay.
kind of makes it. Nashi's at least... It's 4 too.
I like Fallen Shinobi more than Nashi if we're going to cut one of those.
Okay, let's cut Nashi then.
Like, because I actually cut Nashi for a second out of my ninja deck, but I brought him back because he's pretty good.
Cut Nightveil Spectre.
Play cards, exile with...
It's kind of like... I like Hostage... I like the Hostage Shaker and Thief of Sanity better.
Yeah, but it's 3 mana is the thing. I'm also trying to think of, like,
This doesn't do a similar thing. This actually might be worse than Nightveil Spectre. I mean, though we can go get an artifact of our choice... This kind of still plays into the Tasha.
It also plays into the mill because we're taking whatever it is off the top.
The good thing here is Tasha says anytime, not when we do it off her ability. So if we exile Nightveil Spectre and we start playing those things...
Yeah. And it says play, right? Off of Nightveil?
Yeah, so we could play lands off.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But we only get the Tasha if we cast.
That's fine, but I mean, still playing lands is ramp.
No, that's why I want the Spectre.
Right, that's what I'm thinking.
Do we cut the thought of them?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
This is a stupid question. Do we cut Rankle?
No, we can't, man. He's too good.
I still feel like we're going to have to neg another creature, but let's come back to it.
Okay. If it's Xanathar, it's fine. I can make the argument that he's just that dang good.
Do we cut Serum Visions?
Yes, you keep on saying it.
Yeah, I feel like it's the least of the draw cards.
It's an issue. The wording is terrible.
This is tough. This is a tough...
do we cut the Reality Shift?
We don't have a ton of exile removal, though.
Okay.
Well, the only exile removal we have is Deadly Rollick.
And we also... I mean, Imprison and Moon basically is an exile.
Basically. But not technically.
Well, Imprison is just better because you can put it on Commander and just say, you don't get to do anything.
Is it Gale's Redirection?
That is the most expensive.
It's not just that it's the most expensive. I think it has the least amount of utility. Like, so many of these cards we're going to be able to hold up 1 mana for.
Yeah.
How often are we holding up 5 mana for Gale's Redirection?
Hopefully not very often.
I think that's my cut for now.
Yeah, I can agree with that for sure.
Oh, man.
Is it the clock?
I think it's the clock. do think we need to prioritize mana, though, because we're not going to have a ton of it. So I think we got to keep the clock for now.
Okay.
I feel like the mana artifacts are going to come in a lot of handy. We have draw, but I don't think we have as much as we think we do.
Okay.
I almost think it's Mind's Dilation, but I really love the card. I think it's like the high-end card we're going for.
Yeah, I mean, it's like an omniscience, really.
Because think about it, if they play some little creature, they exile a removal spell, we get that removal spell for free.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of all the upside. The problem is it's 7 mana.
Here's what we do. No, never mind. I think that's a dumb idea.
Cunning Rhetoric is the diminishing our opponents wanting to attack us worth it if we're trying to go this mill plan and we clearly have enough of it? We have enough other sources to use Tasha's ability. One thing I like about Cunning Rhetoric is it kind of paves the way for it. But it kind of feels like the least good of the enchantments here, in my opinion, for what we're trying to do.
I do like that, like, since Tasha can get attacked directly, this gives her a little bit of protection. I mean, it's only one card, though. That's the only sucky thing to think about. I mean, do we cut risk extra? I'm kidding.
I just feel like Cunning Rhetoric is the weakest of all of these.
Yeah, that's true.
I like Imprisoned in the Moon. I like King Narfi's Betrayal because it gives us bonus. I like the Memory Erosion. I love Mind's Dilation. I like the Psychic Corrosion. I like Tutelage, both of them. Even though both of them target, I still feel like we're going to have a target at the table we want to mill more than others.
Yep.
And I really like Court of Cunning. Even if we never get the Monarch, it's still worth 3 mana.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I like the Monarch here because it can put the target off of our back, which is what we want.
Because people want to take the Monarch.
Yep.
Alright, I'm thinking Rhetoric.
Okay.
That sucks. I still like 35 lands. I still feel like we're going to need it.
Yeah, no. We definitely need 35.
Are we sold on all 3 of these Planeswalkers? Liliana the Veil seems really good.
Yes.
But is it going to be good all of the time? Both the Ashiok's have lasting effects.
It's good some of the time, all of the
This
time.
has a static effect that's always good.
Yeah.
They can't search the library. Ram's gone, tutors are gone. And we can make somebody mill and exile their graveyard if we need to get rid of a pesky graveyard. Here it gets us a creature. We can return something to its owner's hand. Then the player exiles a card from their hand. At the -7, we can cast some of those cards we either got off of Tasha or got off of other things. Which I think this Ashiok pairs well with Tasha really well. This one is just good.
Yeah.
We're going to play enough green decks. That's why it just comes to Liliana of the Veil for me. I like the card. I genuinely do. But I just think it's I never thought I would call Liliana of the Veil the least good Planeswalker in our deck. But it feels like it.
No, I agree. I don't think it pushes the strategy enough. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
We have one card to cut. I want.
Is it Shinobi?
Oh no. It could be.
Because you don't want Xanathar, and I think I agree now after I think about it.
Hang on. Well, let's look at this. What can we attack with, where we can get the ninjutsu in properly?
All of our flyers.
Which we have how many?
Thief of Sanity, Night Veil Spectre, Dazzling Sphinx.
Do we want to recast those? Rankle is like the only one I'm okay recasting with because it's cheaper. Thief of Sanity is actually cheaper too, but maybe.
So you're saying, what would you pick up for it?
Right.
I just don't think it...
Because that's what... When I play ninjutsu, that's
the
what I have.
4 mana cost, I don't know if it's worth it. I think all the other creatures just have better inherent value.
That's what I'm thinking.
I love that we're playing both crabs. It makes me happy that we're playing Ruined Crab and Hedron Crab.
It's an insane combination.
And we're down to 100. Wow. What a time to be alive. Alright, let's go through the considering board.
Yeah, we're going to play mill.
Now let's try to get it down to, like we do with all our decks, let's try to get down to 5 or 6 cards that we think we might want to add back in.
Okay.
I'm good here. I think I'm good here.
Yeah.
I think I'm good here.
I'm also good there.
Look at that. We've agreed.
The only creature that I really love bringing back in,
Tiny Bones.
I was gonna say either Elder Brain or Brain Stealer. If we ever feel like we need that top end threat.
Oh, okay, cool.
I like Thada Adele though.
I like Thada because of the evasion. That's about it.
So I think we get rid of these guys. We'll keep Intellect Devourer there. That's a nice little card that's pretty cheap to come back in. And we'll keep Thada Adele. So I think those two could be creatures that if you're having issues on the lower end, if you're getting too many, if you see too many of your expensive creatures too often.
I gotta keep looking at those flip cards. Those are interesting.
I like Glimpsy Unthinkable.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like the Betrayal. I know why people are playing it, and I think we cut the Serum Visions.
Man, Gil's Redirect is a great card. I just think 5 mana is something that a blue player is not gonna worry about.
Cut the Commander's Sphere, cut the Mind Stone. I like Rod of Absorption, but we have so much more.
We don't need the Anime Dead.
I think I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Being the 6 for the considering. Just because I think...
Rogue class is good.
So we have Intellect Devourer, Thought Adele, Glimpsy Unthinkable, Cunning Rhetoric, Oubliette, and Rogue class. I think this is a good considering board because it gives you extra creatures if we need them. Glimpsy Unthinkable is a mill card. If you're seeing a lot of mill but you feel like you're missing mill at times, this is good. Cunning Rhetoric, if you're getting attacked too often, you can bring this back in. Oubliette, more removal. Rogue class turns every creature into Thief of Sanity.
Yes.
So, yeah, man. I think we did it. We did the thing.
We jamming, bro.
Mommy? We did the thing. I feel like this deck is really good.
I feel like this deck is a problem.
I think I prefer the Blueback Horrors though, because I think it just gives you a little bit more upside because you take permanence and like who doesn't love taking like a good creature or enchantment?
I think that's one thing. If for the viewer, watcher, listener, whatever, if you're gonna make a mill deck, you might want to consider what kind of value are you getting off of the mill. I mean,
because we're not playing. We're playing mill in all reality here to try to snuff our opponents out, as well as use Tasha's ability to get the instants and sorceries.
We're not just playing mill to win.
We're not just milling for the sake of milling.
Yeah.
The milling here is going to be a sense of control because we're going to be hurting our opponent.
Right. It's like it's funny. This one wise man once told me that if you play Tasha's Hideous Laughter, even if you just play it, it's pretty good because
it's a wise man. You should listen to that man.
Shut your mouth. No. Because it's going to throw off your opponents in such a wild way, and it does every single time. I mean, there's so many times where we look at what cards we just, exiled, and said, wow, I don't get that card back.
This is definitely a Mikey deck. I don't know if this is a Millzy deck.
Oh, it's definitely me for sure. It has my name written all over it. Xanathar is one of my favorite commanders.
I can't wait for you to play this deck and see Turgid, Toxrill, and Xanathar all get the same groan from the table.
Toxrill is just a terrible person.
Toxrill is what I want in this world. I was kidding. Toxrill is the card that I hate playing against, but I will always love playing.
I want to play Xanathar because
so bad.
Honestly, that is a card I could say that out of those 5, remember those 5 sets I was talking about?
Yeah.
That's one of those really good cards. I wish I could build a deck around him.
Do you know it's better than an AFR? Everyone's favorite green dragon.
Shut your mouth. Oh, that's another one too, yeah. Okay, hey, look, we got 4 cards on that.
The thing I love about Turgid is people get so salty about Turgid. And I understand why. Turgid's not a fun card to play against.
No.
But I don't think it's like you're going to die immediately.
No, it's going to be a slow,
the
painful
thing
death.
The thing with Turgid is Turgid relies on the spells to support it. What I love about Turgid in this deck is it just helps.
Yeah.
We haven't built into Turgid.
No.
In fact, I think the backside is just as useful as the front side.
I was about to say the same thing, yeah.
You know, the backside says target player loses 3 life unless they sack an online permanent or discard a card, and you can pay 4 to untap it. Like, the backside's just as useful as the front side. And in fact, I'd say most of the time when you're drawing Turgid in this deck, it's you deciding which side is more important. Man, I mean, I don't have the immediate love for this deck like I did I think for Elminster, I think Elminster's the deck of the two so far that I've loved the most on first look.
I'm sorry that I played it before you did.
That's okay. We'll get there eventually, but I think this is a good list, and I think that's what you want. Like when you to peel back the curtain, like when you build a deck, you want to look at the deck and say, "Hey, this is a good deck."
Yeah.
You don't want to look at the deck and be like, "This is a pile." Like, you know what I mean? Like,
oh, this is a pile for sure, but it's a pile of like, holy crap.
I think the deck looks strong. I think it's very first hand dependent. It's gonna be about getting that mana ramp and the artifacts down quickly, right?
Easy there, bud.
You need it, right? You're gonna need it, and you're gonna need it hard. And if you don't get it, I think you're gonna get into a lot of trouble.
Do I build another Dimir deck?
Can't you just build 95 Dimir decks?
I don't want to.
Like, the things that I'm happy about, I'm happy we included the Ashiok's. Because I think, especially the War of the Spark one is such a fun planeswalker that people just don't play. Because it stops tutoring effects.
Yeah.
The mill cards we're playing just are gross. And they make me sad in a good way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they make you sad, but in like an I'm into it kind of way.
Listen, turbo decks are a thing.
Well, friendos, another episode of Head Brews in the deck.
We're gonna go.
We got Tasha.
Grown a little bit.
I have to think about life and why I'm not playing Mill more, which is a scary thought process.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to, man. Like.
But that is it. The next episode will probably be our last Commander Legends episode before Dominaria.
Oh, yeah.
And then from there, with Dominaria, we'll have Warhammer 40k. We'll have lots of good content coming. Mike, you got any last thoughts for the friendos out there in the ether?
Yes, I do. If you think Mill's a good time, let us know in the comments.
Can we get a Mill equals 2 OP in the chat? like that.
It's ridiculous. It's
Can
crazy.
we get a ban Mill in the comment section to let you know that you've gotten this far?
Yeah.
No. Do you ever watch those videos where people are like, comment rubber duck to let us know that you got this far in the video?
No, my least favorite ones are it's like, I'm sorry, I know we're tangenting here, but like my least favorite ones are like the ones that are like targeted towards like the younger audience, and it's like, we're gonna go do this crazy thing. But before we do that crazy thing, I'm gonna yell at you for 5 seconds. And when I yell at you, you're gonna hit that like button. You're gonna smash that like button. I'm just like, dude, shut up. No one's going to do what you tell them to do.
You should obliterate the like button.
Yeah, it's like, you smash that like button. It's like, what am I gonna do? Like, ram my head into my iPad as I
use the
watch
listener
this
right now.
dumb video?
You should obliterate the like button and subscribe.
No, you should not. I will never, ever want to say that. You know what I will say?
Oh my god.
We're gonna have more fun with this and other decks to come. You know what? Stay tuned for more amazing content just like this. And with that, we'll see.
Catch you guys next time.
Yeah, see ya.
See ya again.